Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel eddieinreadingland. My name is Eddie and today I'm bringing you a review of The Neuroscience of Tarot by Siddharth Ramakrishnan. I'm hoping I pronounced that right, but I am not sure. Sorry, sweet. Okay guys, so yes, today I wanted to talk about The Neuroscience of Tarot, which is, by the way, an amazing book. I really like this because this book actually provided me with something that I did want, and it was to learn what our brain goes through, the processes our brains goes through, and what areas of the brain we use when we are actually doing tarot. So, totally love reading this book. I will say a lot more better things about this book, but I wanted to say something, a critique about this book, negative critique about this book is some of the exercises that the author has provided for us on this book required a friend or multiple friends. And it's not that I don't have friends, but it is really difficult to find people who are willing to work with you, especially when it's something like tarot. I will say that I have very few friends that actually practice tarot. So some of the exercises and some of the activities that required another person or a group of people to for us to learn and for us to experience that part of the book, I had to rework a little so that I was able to do it by myself. And now saying that, I feel like people are going to think that I'm not able to reach out to anyone to help me. But no, I do have people to reach out who could have helped me, even my husband. But yes, there are not a lot of people in my life that are closer to me or close to me that would have an understanding of tarot that I feel I need to be able to do these activities. And but I will have to say that the journaling prompts and the solo activities that this book provides you are amazing. The reason why this is because not only is it teaching you by practicing what your brain is doing during that specific time, it just it's very insightful, and it feels like you're doing it. How can I explain this? It feels like you're accomplishing something when you do these journal prompts and the work that you need to do, that the author is asking you to do. You feel very accomplished. You feel very smart. You feel very intelligent. That's what it is. And really like that about this book, because I like feeling intelligent. I like feeling smart. But as in any case, the Neuroscience of Tarot does go into what our brains look like and what are the processes of our brains when we are doing tarot. And that includes while we're observing an imagery, and to the point where we go into actually prediction in what the brain looks like when we're doing that. Love the fact that this book is very current, and I say that because most psychology books or science books, some authors tend to be very rigid on what they're presenting to us, and what their research has done. And I feel like this book is very current with the trends of psychology right now. and the trends of the scientific community with neuroscience as well. So very much like that. He, even in his narrative, I'm going to talk about the language and the tone of the book. He sounds very humble. He also wrote this book in vernacular, which means that it's very easy to follow. It's a very short book, guys. It took me a while to read it, not because I know that I would be able to read this book sitting down in an afternoon, but it took me a while because some of the exercises they do require days to pass for you to continue on with them, which is totally fine for me. I don't mind doing that. I will say though that I would have preferred a more didactic, more academic tome. Like I wanted this book to be thicker, and I wanted less work to be done. No, I wanted less work for me to do to learn. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. I don't mind doing the work. I don't mind practicing, but I feel like this book could have been thicker and deliver me with more information, more interesting information that I would have loved to have had from this book. Not that this book didn't deliver, because it did. This book does deliver, but yeah, I feel like it's too thin. And I think that the reason why for this is because the author knew that the main readers for this book were going to be tarot readers, and most of us don't know anything about neuroscience, or are not compelled to research neuroscience before reading this book, or even after reading it. So I do understand that. I do understand that they needed to be concise and succinct for that reason, because otherwise you would lose your audience. So great job for the author for doing that. Love the fact that we have, let me show you here on the camera. Let me show you. Oh, see, there are illustrations of what parts of the brain are being stimulated when we're doing certain things with tarot, and there's even that going the extra mile for us, just so that we know what parts of our brains are being worked on during those times. And it's just, the whole thing is very fascinating. As you guys can see, there's also other images that and these are all exercises that you get to do when you're reading this book and when you're reading along this book. So I was really happy about this. He does use the Rider-Waite-Smith system, which is fine. That is the common tarot that gets used on most books about tarot. But I love the fact that he also provided us with some examples of his life, and even while writing this book, there are some instances in the book where he says, and while writing right now, I have pulled this card, and then he starts writing about that card with the theme of the of what he's going through in that moment. Oh, he also goes into the what areas of your brain get stimulated when you're intuiting. So this is all very scientific, and this is all very very practical. And honestly, the only reason why I read this book, it was because neuroscience is it's just completely fascinating to me, and the fact that we get a complete thesis of what my work looks like scientifically. It's very validating, guys. So I really, really appreciate this book for that. Totally recommend anyone to read this book. If you have the opportunity to journal and do the exercises, please do them, because that is how best this book teaches you. And allows you to absorb the information that this book, because neuroscience is quite a dense subject, guys, and I do realize that, and I know that most people are even going to be like a little averse to the book because of neuroscience. But I promise you, this book goes into complex themes in a very, very easy way to understand. So I compel anybody to read this book, especially if you want to have but there is science that proves that this happens while you're doing tarot. It's not only superstition, and it's not only divinity that takes place. Science also takes place while you're doing tarot. And I like that. This is a very Six of Swords book to me, guys. I really enjoyed this. I really like this. The author did an amazing job editing the information, distilling the information to such a point where he just goes into the very specific points and bullets for imagery and intuition and precognition. I don't know if you guys knew, but our brains are constantly predicting things daily, by the minute, by the second. We just are not able to perceive those predictions, but they do happen, guys. So there is science to back precognition, because that's what our brains are doing constantly for us. They are predicting our next move. They are predicting our environment, our speech patterns. It is very fascinating. It is very validating, especially with somebody who, like me, who has a very logical mind and still practices tarot and enjoys practicing tarot. So who is this book for? Well, obviously me. This book is for me and anybody who has a logical mind and is more scientifically inclined. And this book is also for all of you who want to learn about what happens in your brain when you're doing tarot. I think that everybody should read this book and do the exercises and put in the work, because it feels like an accomplishment. And I know that nobody will regret reading this book and doing the exercises that this book is providing. So I'm just going to stop, because I am only going to say really good things about this book. But, the author is queer. So, it also has that going on for it. But, there you go, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you would be interested in reading this book. And, or let me know if you actually did read it and what you think about it and what you thought about it. Thank you so much for being here with me, guys. I really appreciate it. Bye, YouTube.